Yeah. All right. So, should I have my drink ready?
Yep.
As long as so much we can polish this turd of a show, buddy. We're shining right now. We're good.
Right. Okay, great.
Start off.
Okay.
Come on, Shorty.
Welcome everyone to Walking After Whiskey. I'm Shorty.
And I'm Travis. We're going to break down your latest episode of The Walking Dead tonight.
We're also going to break down, I'm questionable about Travis's choice of Top Shelf whiskey.
It's not under debate. It's actually pretty good. It's Redemption whiskey. We did the rye before. Sorry, Redemption bourbon. Aaron liked it, so I think we're pretty good.
And so, in case you didn't notice, we have a special guest in the middle here. So we have Aaron Hartman. Couldn't come at a perfect time. We ready, gentlemen?
Let's go. Let's get on to the season 11, episode 6, entitled.
Oh shoot.
From the inside.
From the inside.
From the inside.
That's where Aaron does all his work in the inside of haunted houses. It works out perfect.
Right.
Let's get to the review.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Start us off, Aaron. So what do you see in the beginning of the episode?
Oh, wow. I just watched it today. Okay, yeah, you're putting me on the spot. I'm trying to remember.
I know, right? It's still terrible.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
So wait.
Yeah.
Frying pan.
Oh,
So
man.
we start, I'll start you off. So we start off with Connie and Virgil, who we haven't seen Virgil in a hot minute.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yes, they ran into the house.
What kind of house?
It looked like a haunted house, a horror house.
There you go.
It reminiscent of Night of the Living Dead. Yes, that's the first thing I thought. You know, barricading in the house, all the zombies coming around. It totally looked like Night of the Living Dead.
Funny when you see them running through the yard of the house, it looks like the Night of the Living Dead because everyone's like, it looks like they don't know what's happening. Like they've never seen a zombie before. Kind of like, oh my God. Oh my God! And Bird's like, oh my God! It's like, you guys been there for 13 years now. You know what this is going on.
No, but when Connie, to be fair, when Connie goes to the bathroom, right, and she looks at, and she goes, opens the medicine cabinet. There's like a weird.
We're in the beginning of the show here.
It is still, well, it's getting to that. I'm just saying.
Then they walk into the house. Sorry.
Stop it! Stop it! We gotta make this quick. Aaron gotta go.
But yeah, she. Well, she had a flashback of being in the cave because we lost her in the caverns.
So she's got PTSD.
Yeah.
She's got some PTSD for
Yes.
I was getting those vivid flashes like from Fight Club, like the.
Yeah. So they still haven't explained what happened to her under there. So that's probably they're going to drag that out. Yeah.
So Virgil basically comes to Connie because Connie hasn't slept in days, and we all know that when you don't see things for days, you start to hallucinate, or if you don't know, you start to see a lot of things that aren't there if you stay for multiple days. And basically, Virgil comes down and says, writes to her, you need to sleep. And she's like, it's not safe. And he goes, I checked the house, it's fine. And she's like, no, like, I don't know
trust
you.
you.
Fuck you.
I've been in a
I want to sleep
cave.
again.
Yeah.
And then she sweeps the house herself.
And finds, can I say it now?
Please.
So when she goes to the bathroom, she goes in the medicine cabinet, and there's a creepy ass yellow eye. Like it's a yellow, like
jaundice
eye. Yeah,
right?
like a crazy ass
There's some stuff going on with his
so at that
tract.
point I actually thought maybe it's a dream. Maybe she did fall asleep and it was a dream because it was so out of the norm. It wasn't a zombie eye, it wasn't a human eye. So
it was in a blade receptacle, like from like back in like really old days, like these have like, you know, where your poop would drop off, they have like a little receptacle for your razors to drop off.
What just happened?
If you've ever seen a castle, you ever seen the things that go outside the windows, they used to have just the drop out of the poop. Same the drop out of the razors.
I don't even know what just happened. But okay. So one of the reasons why I'm really excited that Aaron's actually on the show today is because Aaron does haunted house reviews here in Northern California. And there was just not a more perfect episode for you to guest co-host with us on. Like everything about this was super haunted, like the old freaking wallpaper, and we talked about the pictures with the eyes scratched out on the walls. So could not be a more perfect episode for you to be
you
here.
kind of see in the beginning, you see Connie when this is all happening, she's still knocking things over, making noises. But then she gets Virgil to go up there and look at the house with him, and they get separated, leaving this room that something's in there. And that's when we get the separation between Virgil and Connie, where Virgil has sound and Connie doesn't have sound.
Yeah.
And it's not sound, it's just void. There's no music, there's nothing. What did you think when you started seeing that?
Well, that was pretty cool, you know. Well, we got a taste of it on the last week's Talking Dead when they showed the teaser when they showed the wall separate Virgil and Connie, and then everything went silent. You know, at first I thought my TV was, did AMC, do I cable cut out? But yeah,
so good.
but it was brilliant for using her deafness and whatnot, you know, bringing us into her world, the world of silence.
Can you imagine if like a real haunted house was actually able to produce that kind of a, like it would, like the closest I've seen is like when they do that total black room when you're just in there, there's nothing. But can you imagine if a haunted house was actually able to produce like a completely silent room? Like that would be amazing.
Right.
It would be cool, but you know, but it's almost impossible because you got ambience. You know, usually you're with a group of people and they're all
screaming in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I get the total blackness because you have to touch walls and whatnot. You know, a couple haunted houses over the years have actually done that. You know, the blackout room. And then, someone did a whiteout room where it was just, you know, they smoke machined out the whole thing and, you know, turned on the lights and all you see is white.
That's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So one thing we noticed when Connie's here for Virgil, and they're banging on the wall together. She can't hear Virgil at all, obviously, but she starts using her other senses. Like she starts feeling the walls. She starts putting her ear to them. You know, very much like to hear the buffalo. She's basically like hearing like these are coming up, and all of a sudden, as she's listening to this wall, you see this very, as sort of Ring-esque person run at her, and you see her face like, oh my God, it's coming at me. And she runs through the door.
That's what I wrote down was just with the movements. Even I mean, there's definitely haunted houses that have people with the disjointed, like the double jointedness that like crawl on ceilings and crawl on the floor. So that's what I thought. In the long hair, it was definitely Ring-esque.
Yeah,
for me.
Ring. What was that girl's name? Samara with the long hair.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, with the.
I know. I was expecting someone to crawl through the TV.
That's pretty big with Japanese horror too. It's like the black, you know, like you see like The Grudge. It's like a very big like one eye coming through the hair type of thing. It's like a very big.
Yes, that episode there was a lot of homage to horror. That was probably very horror, you know, episode. You know, it probably one of the more intense episodes that they provided.
We also got a big feeling from Wes Craven, people under the stairs, people in the walls.
Yes, because they're hiding, you know, because those, you know, what do they call it, feral people were hiding behind the walls, which, you know, people under the stairs, and also was it Maggie's movie, The Boy, with where she had to babysit a porcelain doll. You know, there was, that was a weird one, but it almost seemed like they did homage to her movie, which, I mean, it couldn't have flopped because they did a sequel, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But I don't think she was in it.
Flop that bad.
Anything Maggie's in kind of turns to copper these days.
Well, she came back. So
yeah, because her TV show, what was that, WTF, kind of.
It made you. She came back.
Whiskey, whatever, Tango.
Whiskey Foxtrot Tango. Yeah, what the fuck?
But getting back to Maggie in this episode, so. As they were torturing Frost, Daryl had to actually start to show that he's part of this team. Had to kind of show that he was going to hurt Frost too, and get some information out of him. We all seen Daryl kind of be the torturer, which is so hard to see because Daryl knows this guy, and they're trying to work together, which obviously is not going to happen after this episode.
Well, he's already been tortured already. Like by the time like Daryl gets to him, even like that dude has been beat the fuck up. Like it's pretty awful, and it's really hard to kind of stomach Daryl adding to that. Like Daryl's been tortured in the past, and it's really hard to kind of that he added to that dude's pain.
And I think torturing probably hurts Daryl more than being tortured. I think having to inflict pain was probably worse on him. And I think it was actually, when I started to walk in, he punches him, and he gets him in a headlock. Like, these are all things you do that look menacing, but probably was the easiest thing that guy got that day. Like a hug and a nice pat on the face. Like, it's definitely a lot better than getting your nails ripped off with pliers and teeth ripped off. So fingers cut off.
The nail getting ripped off, that's like, ooh.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That's not good.
So with the info they got, they went into town and found out they were in a yellow house. And we see Pope's group, which is Daryl begs to go on this group with them, and so it's Daryl, Leah, and like a group about 5 other people going to this town looking for this yellow house.
And Daryl gives a signal, like the electrical wire, like he shakes the electrical wire, so that. And magically, someone was in the house able to see it.
And they left him alone.
That was a little far-fetched for me, but it's fine.
Hey, Daryl, you stay here. The guys are prison. You just stay right here. We're gonna go search the town for your friends. You stay here. He was like, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't send up any bottle rockets for my friends at all.
Let me just open the door and say, hey guys, hide. You should hide right now. So that was a little far-fetched for me, but whatever. The point came across, and. What I think the biggest thing for that whole situation was just how much Carver does not trust Daryl. Like we already, from the beginning, Carver doesn't trust him. I call that dude Jon Snow Jr. But Carver doesn't trust him from the beginning, and now it just like it proves like, and that dude tests him through the entire thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and plus the guy was Team Jacob anyway, since he's from the Twilight series. So I was Team Jacob. So I think that we have like that bond. But
I learned disturbing things about you, like just when I think however many years I've known you now, I don't have any
gauge.
It just keeps happening. You say something, and I'm like, oh, okay, Twilight boy, fine.
So, what did you think, Aaron, about when you actually saw downstairs and saw Maggie's eyes looking up at him? What were you like? Was it development of tension for you?
Yeah,
were you
it was
suspense?
like, is he gonna have to rat them out? Are they gonna catch him? When was it Carver? Is that his name? He when he discovered that was a trap door, it's like, oh, the gig is up.
Yeah. Daryl pulled his knife immediately. Like he was like, I was like, there it goes. And it was like, we're all gonna die, or we're all gonna walk away. Like,
yeah.
So then after we go back to Connie again and Virgil back in the main house, and at this point, Connie and Virgil have been separated. Connie is in the air ducts because air ducts are big enough for human bodies to fit in. Have you ever seen an air duct before? It's always big enough for a person to be in. But sometimes to be like the die hard, like crawling. Sometimes you can just be walking or crawling. It doesn't matter. But air ducts are always big enough for people to be in. Just so you know.
Which has happened.
And then Connie gets in between the walls and is trying to alert Virgil that there's someone in the room with him.
Yeah. Nice horror scene right there.
Yeah, right?
That was cool.
Well, it didn't work.
Well, the coolest part too was obviously the banging was throwing Virgil off.
Well, he thought it was
bad person.
He thought it was one of the ring people. So
one thing that was cool though was like her visibility was like this big. So she's just like if you could think of imagine yourself like you had to look everywhere. You see the guy coming from the corner. She's like she can't see the whole scene, and we were able to experience that with her. Not just look at her face, but just as us like what the fuck, and not be able to know that she's trying to scream to him. And not be able to.
And even at that point, because we understood so many times before about the silence, like even if there was, like I couldn't even tell you right now if there was silence during those parts or not. But for me, because it had already been there, like you're already knowing that she doesn't have any of those senses. They did such a good job of getting you in the realm of what she feels on a daily basis. Like,
I believe you could hear the boom boom when she was trying to bang the wall. So that's where Virgil's like, what's over there? And then by the way, feral guys coming at you, sneaking up at you. So there was that whole scene.
One thing that's kind of like shared with Tony too is we've never seen Connie make any noises at all. Like I know a lot of deaf people, people with deaf parents. So I do sign language for very young.
Is she deaf and mute?
It looks like she's both because she's never. They've never showed us that she can make any noise at all.
Yeah, I don't remember her ever making a sound.
And that's even harder because a lot of people can word things to you and kind of get you have that connection. She is mute and she can't even talk at all. So it's like, oh my God, that's even worse.
Yeah, like Children of the Lesser God or whatever that movie was.
You could voice it out.
Yeah, I want to do it or whatever it was.
It's funny.
Well, yeah, what was it? Asshole? I kind of learned that in science. Yeah, from that movie. Yeah.
Well, no, this is poop.
Okay.
So
wheels just fall off the bus. Like Travis is talking about poop shoots, and Aaron is doing weird sign language maneuvers.
Okay.
Well,
this could be whiskey too, I guess.
Yeah.
So finally, Virgil's able to fight this guy off. And the guy kind of slinks back into his little hole he came out of.
But he gets hurt.
Yeah, he gets a good stabbing.
Yeah, he gets hurt. So.
And then finally, Virgil stabs to the wall, and you see the knife coming like Connie, like it's almost like a magician in a box. The knife is coming out of his face. He's like ah! And then finally, they were able to rip through and see it's Connie and pulls her out. It's like oh my God, like even just that part of the thing, I could have killed her at any moment, But Jesus, that was so good. And then together, at least they can now like have the solace with each other with the rest of the horror-filled episode that's coming.
So basically, everybody escapes from their houses, right? So Maggie and her team escape from that house, the yellow house. Virgil and Connie escape from the horror house. And magically now, finally, Connie is reunited with Kelly. So that was super poignant. And actually, like in some interviews, they say that they hadn't seen each other in so long. That was actually the first time meeting on set in a really long time. Right. So all of that emotion was super real.
Sure,
which is amazing.
I'll bet. And I love how directors do that too.
Yeah.
Even sad too. You think about Carol telling her, telling Maggie, telling Carol, stop giving her hope all this time. And that's all Kelly wanted was her friend. And Kelly's going deaf too, right? So it's like, she feels for her because she's, obviously wants to make sure she's okay because they're gonna only have each other. So that was cool. And at the very end, as they're walking, they pull Virgil out of the home. Kelly comes over there with a wrist rocket, badass, fucking killing zombies off, you know, with his rocket at a time. And then Carol does that with her too, ready to go. It was so cool that the cavalry finally arrived, and we'll get you out of this fucking Wes Craven nightmare and get to the next episode.
So it really is leading you up to all of the reunions that are going to happen.
Yes.
Like it's definitely leading you up. So even that like kind of momentous occasion with Kelly and Connie's kind of meeting again, like that was such an emotional level itself. But now when other people start to meet up, I think it's going to be kind of incredible, and it's all leading up to like Michonne's got to come back, like all of this stuff coming back. So it'll be like just a rocky road season. So.
Yeah, this kind of coming too is like everything's great. We're all fighting each other again. Well, when this starts happening, people start to die pretty fast. So we're gonna see.
Well, that's the thing. None of our key people have died in a hot minute. So, and that Virgil dying is not going to be like that's not good enough. Like so, there's got to be some key deaths happening pretty soon.
What do you think, man? Good episode, Aaron? What do you think?
Yeah, I loved it. You know, it was probably one of the most horror-themed ones that,
for a long time.
So, because usually a lot of them are more drama, more relationship-based, but this one was like real horror.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a horror house guy. Have you ever made your own horror house, or do you always just visit other people's?
Most of the time I visit others. You know, me and my cousin used to do a front yard haunt.
Nice.
You know, for the longest time. You know.
Awesome.
But yeah, I never did work a professional one. But it's like every year I always wanted. I've been fascinated with them since I was a child. You know,
for sure.
It's like. Finally, because for the longest time I was going to, Marine World, Six Flags,
right?
You know? So
Fright Fest.
Yeah, and it's like every year was kind of the same boring one. And it's like, let me look online, what's out there, and then there's a lot out there that So
we should definitely plug what Aaron does. So Aaron does a few things for haunters out here in Northern California. So you have the one Facebook page, dude, is really long.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you repeat that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Look in the comments. We'll put it in the comments because you're going to be like, wow, that's a really long Facebook page.
I know. I came up, I wanted to think of something that no one else would think of. So I just.
Winner.
Yeah.
Winner.
So I, just out of absurdity, I came up with Northern California Haunted Attraction Enthusiasts. So that's like.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. And it's like, that was, something that, no one else would think of something that grandiose, you know? And, I started 10 years ago, invited, probably 30 of my friends, who just humored me. And it's like over the years, and now it's over 2,000 people.
It's big. And Aaron Aaron keeps up with the calendar, and I don't even know how you do this because you're a working man too, like you're busy. So he keeps up with this calendar that actually lists like so many haunted houses and so supportive of local haunted houses. It's kind of ridiculous. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, maybe I'm over the top,
No,
but,
no.
I think you're there.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But I'm always impressed with like you include everything from like haunted walks, zombie walks, all that kind of like the gamut of anything kind of horror related, like haunted horror related, like you have on that calendar.
Yeah, I always thought, of course October is like the golden year for haunted attractions, but it seems like during the off season there's always like horror conventions or some sort of, some little events
Transworlds, those
yeah,
types of
They're trying to get you ready for Halloween. They're trying to get you ready for Halloween.
Right.
Yeah, all the haunted attraction conventions, Transworld, what was it up in Portland's the West Coast Haunters.
Yeah, you venture out of Northern California. I know you plug a lot of Southern California businesses. Anything kind of on the West Coast, I would say. So not so broad as all the West Coast, but definitely all the big things on the West Coast you definitely tag.
Yeah, I do. Try to keep stuff that I would think people in this area would be interested in.
Nice.
One of the things I had to decide, what is Northern California? Because I finally decided, I looked up Wikipedia and it said Bakersfield was the cutoff between Northern California.
Sense.
So Oregon border to Bakersfield, anyone in there I would put in the haunt calendar.
Okay.
So that was one thing I tried to do.
And now the other big thing that you do, though, you do haunted house review. So look at the Review right now, Scare Factor. And what's the name of yours and Debbie's actual duo, though?
Every review team has their own little catch name, and we are Team Incorporated.
very
And,
look in the comments.
Yeah.
Look in the comments.
So basically, you know, granted, most of the review teams are probably in the Midwest and East Coast. And as far as I know, we're the only West Coast team, though I know there was a Southern California one that was only doing escape rooms.
Oh, cool.
Now, I wonder if they're still doing it. But
They're more haunty style, or like just because sometimes they're more just like
that's
puzzly.
true. Yeah, I mean they're all puzzly, but you know some of them will do a haunt theme. You know, I went to the one in Vacaville, which they had like this prohibition thing. You know, we had an hour to, and we were only 80%. You know, and
I'm
didn't
gonna
finish
say,
it.
I'm just gonna say this right now though. Like I'm gonna plug the one in
Yeah.
Folsom because the one in
Okay.
Folsom's pretty freaking epic. I don't know if you've been,
okay. No,
but
I
he's
haven't.
so he's an ex Garrett. He's an ex haunter, right?
Okay.
You know Garrett. I'm sure you know Garrett.
Maybe.
He's an ex haunter, and
Okay.
so it is very much on point with the decor.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's pretty, and they have food and booze. So what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Anyway, you should go to that one.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Well, good review, guys.
We'll
alright.
plug that in the bottom too. Now that I've talked about
Yeah.
it.
Cheers, good review.
Okay.
Should the whiskey review?
Thanks
All
for
right.
what you do for the haunters, Aaron.
All right,
Thank you, Aaron.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Debbie, sorry you couldn't make it. We know it's past your bedtime.
Welcome, everyone. We're to the whiskey review segment and the question segment to win some Funko Pops. This week we did Redemption Bourbon. We've done Redemption Rye before. Rye is really a whiskey man's drink. It has that good burn in your throat. This bourbon's actually a little different, a little less than a bourbon actually. You want to start us
A
off,
little
Aaron?
less than a bourbon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like it. I can feel it's a little strong on the throat, but it's not too hard. You
I'm
know?
gonna say it's warm
Yes,
on the throat.
yes, it is warm.
But
yes.
not harsh. I don't get the burn. I'm not gagging, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like Travis actually didn't go all the way to the bottom shelf like he normally does, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's about Shorty's like chin level, so it's like my elbow level.
I could still probably reach it without a
Yeah.
stool, you know,
There's
on the
no
shelf.
high chair here.
On the
Okay.
shelf. But I'm actually, like I said, I think a good testament is I've actually been able to sip this throughout the review and not like hate it.
You know, and Aaron's he says more of a Jack and Coke guy. So definitely you could mix this with Coke for sure. Would you even need a Coke with this? Do you think you'd even need a Coke with that?
I don't
Well,
think I need
if I'm gonna drink a lot, then yeah, I would need Coke. But you know, if I just wanted a little sips here and there, I could do it straight. You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, man. So it's 84 proof, which isn't too bad. Just under 50%, just under. This has a mild spice, very well balanced. And I'll give them that. You know, it's very well balanced. There's no real nose. Like there's no like smoke. There's no vanilla. Like I don't smell anything that's special on it. It's not been aged very well, even though the color's really nice,
I think
but
it's
very
got
light.
I think it's got sweetness in it though.
I think the lightest might show you that's probably less than a 5-year age, but I think it's 5 years to be a bourbon. So literally, if you have someone that doesn't like bourbon or wants to start them off on liking bourbons, it might be a good bourbon to start them off with. This is definitely a very good training wheel bourbon for your friends.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with it's appropriate because Virgil kind of redeemed himself a little bit, like helping Connie out. So
Okay, yeah,
we'll
he
go with
did.
that.
He did. And we were talking about how Michonne might hate him, but I think Michonne and him were at a good place at the end of when she
Travis
saw him.
thinks that Michonne and Virgil are like best friends now, like they're besties apparently. Like they have the BFF necklaces, you know.
Well, it's ankle wristbands. It's not a big deal. They probably have that. But this bourbon actually you could do a lot worse. And if you have someone who doesn't like bourbon,
Yeah.
as you can test our last 4 seasons with Shorty.
You can do a lot worse.
And we also have a question tonight to win a couple Funko Pops. We have a Daryl and a, which one did you want here, Aaron?
I figured I'll take the Daryl and then the other two
There you
with
go.
Dog and who's the
Alpha.
Alpha. Dog and Alpha. Yeah. Okay, then I better put this down.
All right, so
your
for
bourbon?
what you need me to
You
hold
got- you
here.
got
How
it.
about I hold this?
Okay.
There we go.
So to win these, sorry? No, I like the way you say it. I'm gonna go back to my
He
drinking.
doesn't like the way I say it.
I'll go back to my booze.
It's fine. Anyways, so we we gave Aaron the honors of picking or coming up with the trivia question for this evening. So for 2, not 1, but 2, a dog and an alpha Funko Pop. Aaron Hartman, what is your question for the audience tonight?
Okay, on this episode, when Daryl has to chop, was it Frost's finger? Which hand and which finger was it? You know, you got 5. You got, you know, which hand, which finger got lost?
All right, so answer in the comments. And you get the chance to win one of these two, both of these actually. Funko
They're coming
Pops,
to you with some Walking Up to Whiskey stickers as well. Some virtual high fives from Aaron, Shorty, and myself.
All right.
And good luck, everybody.
All right.
Good review.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. All
Oh, we
right.
get some of that. We get some of that cheers action.
Cheers.
All right.
Thanks,
Cheers,
you
everybody.
guys.
All right. Cheers.
See you next week.